One, two, three. We want to welcome everybody today to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, they're alive and kicking, folks. And we do have Hattie. She is on, but she's not on. Okay, we're going to let you all figure that out. But today, everybody, we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Felesha Love, and she has a wonderful, I'm telling you, folks, a wonderful story about, I don't want to steal her thunder, but she has experienced a lot. She's well known in certain circles, government circles. I don't know what's going on with my aunt right now, but she's having fun.
That's all it counts.
Anyway, Felesha, while we get ready to go, tell us, Felesha, a little bit about how in the world did you get started in radio? Did I steal that thunder a little bit? Tell us a little about your story there, how you got radio and what you're doing now. Let's start from there. Or then you want to start before whatever you want to do.
That's fine. I started in radio straight out of college. I applied for a job as a secretary, actually, at the front desk because I was terribly shy. And I was on the phones for one day. And the program director said, you know what? We need you. You need to be doing a show. So I said, sure. Didn't know what I was getting into. I sat down the very next day, very excited, learning all the great little buttons to push. And I'm like, great, I get to play music. And I played the music, but as soon as it was time for me to talk, I froze. Like nothing came out of my mouth.
Stage fright.
No,
wow.
Well, and here's the problem. How do you have stage fright when you're in a room by yourself? How does that work? But anyway.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But that was my very first experience playing punk rock music at Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri.
Punk rock music in Missouri.
Yes.
The Show Me State. That's an interesting station there. I mean, so you were a hard rocker there, I assume?
Yes. What? Yes. I used to dress goth and everything. Yeah.
That was you?
That's a little known fact about Felesha Love. Yes.
Wow. Would have never known that. I mean, folks, this. I'm sorry I don't normally do this, but I've never met a black woman in punk rock radio. This is my first.
Yes, totally.
So
Talking Heads. Yeah,
spiked hair and everything.
I didn't do the spiked hair, but I would wear darker makeup so that the mascara and the eyeliner, and I wore black and silver jewelry, and I was totally into Prince and rock, and yeah, that was me in college.
Wow, and army boots.
No, I didn't do the army boots. I've always, either worn heels or something super cute. But you know what got me out of that time? My mom enjoyed dressing me up. I remember her dressing me up for dressing with me on a concert. It was a Prince concert. And I had this huge elephant head it was silver, that had sapphire eyes. And so when I put it on, she said, oh, that looks really good. So that's what got me out.
Wow. I mean, this is totally amazing. This is a little known facts here, people, because she's well known in the radio industry.
Nobody knows this, Todd. You're the one that drug it out of me.
Oh, man, folks, this is a great one. You heard it first here on Mom and Dad Talks. I'm telling you, folks.
Don't fight this at home.
So Felesha, so you did this in radio, and did you stay in radio? Did you go to other stations? What did you do? How did you matriculate after your punk rock radio thing, and how long were you on there?
After my punk rock radio days, well, I did an internship at a couple of the more prominent radio stations in St. Louis, and then I finally got my own show at KATZ, well, WESL first, and then KATZ and Z100. So those were the really popular stations in St. Louis. And once Inner City Broadcasting at that time owned the station, and they were opening another station in Cincinnati. And I was asked if I wanted to travel and go to Cincinnati. And I said, absolutely. I just graduated from college and I was ready to go. So I got on the plane. My grandmother only had $10 to give me on this ride.
Oh.
$10. And I remember only having the money that I had from my weekend air shift to go to Cincinnati, but I left with $10 in my purse and headed to Cincinnati. And thank goodness the company treated me right, because if they hadn't, I would have been messed up.
How would you get back? Yeah, that can't go back.
I would have been messed up. And I remember crying on the plane. I can almost see myself that day, because I was like, wow, you're really gonna do this. But I can't believe I only have $10. But it worked out. God kept me the whole time. And I landed in Erlanger, Kentucky. And if you remember WKRP in Cincinnati,
yes,
it was around that time. And yes, it was very similar to that experience.
Wow.
It was crazy. But I was able to transition that station from country at that time to R&B, which became WIZF The Wiz. So I was one of the first radio personalities on that station.
Oh, so got back to your roots. So this is interesting. You went from the punk rock.
Yeah.
And first of all, where are you originally from there, Felesha? I forgot to ask you that.
Born in Chicago. Raised in St. Louis. Seasoned in Atlanta.
Oh, okay, good. I'm just trying to get some reference points then. So she went from Missouri, went to a punk rock, then you went to a country station, and then you turned it into R&B. So you got a little back to your roots again. Okay, we'll find out. So what happened when you got and how did you get from Cincinnati to Atlanta? How did that happen?
Well, I was a young music director at The Wiz, and the program director and general manager just could not stand me for some reason. I guess I was the young female whippersnapper that, thought she knew what she was doing, really didn't, and totally did not have an ego. That was a great opportunity for them to become mentors, but it didn't work out that way. So anyway, they hired a program director who edged me out. I found myself in Erlanger, Kentucky, with no job.
Erlanger, Kentucky, folks.
Erlanger, Kentucky, which
find that on the map.
Services Cincinnati. And so I was like, wow, what do I do? And my friend, who was the news director at that time, she said, Felesha, boy, you got some nerve, girl. You really coming back to the station to Xerox your resumes and cover letters for another job? And I said, yes, I am.
Oh, you just got bold. You know what? They're going to railroad me. I'm going to take care of this.
Look,
doggone it.
The least you owe me.
Yes. I'm going to get my severance out of this.
Oh, wow.
2 pieces of paper.
Yeah, 2 whole pieces of paper. Cover letter and a resume for another job.
Yes.
So I ended up working at Bob Evans down on the farm. I remember crying about that too, because I was hostess, and now all of a sudden, my name is on my name tag. I was like, oh, sweet Jesus.
I heard you on the radio. What? She doing this? Oh man, that had to be something.
So embarrassing. But I finally landed a weekend position at WBLZ in Cincinnati, which was the rival.
Oh.
And I worked there for a while, and he was like, Felesha, there's really no jobs. I'm sorry, there's no jobs. It's just part-time. You really deserve to do something else, but I just don't have anything. And so finally one day he came to me and he said, you know what? I'm moving to Atlanta to do a morning show. You want to come with me and be my co-host? And I said, absolutely. So, well, this time I had more than $10, but I left and ended up in Atlanta, fell in love with Atlanta, this mecca of chocolate people that look like me, that are very successful, and the homes are just rich and beautiful and contemporary. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to stay here forever. And I pretty much did. I've been here 30 years.
Oh, it's amazing. But see, folk, that's just a piece of her story. Because, folk, she's doing a wonderful thing.
Okay.
So wonderful that Joe Biden actually invited you to the White House to talk about this thing you're doing.
Ooh.
Can you tell our listening audience what you are putting together and what you're doing that actually brought you to the White House. Can you explain that? Well, can you explain that story and how to do it? We're going to try to throw it all together in 5-10 minutes. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. Well, I did several morning shows in Atlanta, and it was a little tumultuous. And I decided, you know what? I am just going to have children and get married and have the picket fence. I did that, but found it very difficult to get back into the industry. So it was a mega struggle to, become morning show co-host again. I finally did it, but then it didn't work out very well either. I ended up being released from that job. Broke my heart. Fast forward, I got into education, and then I decided to work with this organization that was doing some research and giving awards. And I was on the board, and we were in a meeting one day, and we were talking about, well, who gets an award next time, this time, and I kept hearing these names. I was like, where are the women? Where the women at?
Come on, represent.
They might name two. I'm like, wait a minute.
Where the sisters at? They haven't done anything in Chocolate City?
Yes. And we're in Atlanta too. And I also was very disheartened because oftentimes my co-host, I was morning show co-host in Atlanta 5 different times. Wow. But you said the cliff notes, so I'm moving through it fast. But I remember the co-host not recognizing, well, the host of the show, not recognizing the co-host, me. I'm like, I was there. I was me, but nothing was ever mentioned. So I had my opportunity to do some research on women, Black women. That was my mission. And I developed an organization called Black Women in Radio. And at that time, I just did a hashtag Black Women in Radio on social media. And that was in 2017, and it just blew up. It has become it's giving me chills. It has become a hub for women who have been in the industry and women who are actually doing extraordinarily well in the industry. And it's brought us together multi generations, different levels of success. It's just beautiful. So I created a collection to speak to just that. I didn't want a collection that was just a popularity contest. I wanted a collection that would give, that would educate the public as to what it might be like to be a Black woman in radio. So I have people who did extraordinarily things locally, regionally, or nationally. So I was blessed. It reminds me of that $10 on the plane, right?
That's right. That's right.
I was blessed to reach out to these women, and they resonated with me, and they trusted me with their careers and legacy. And I did oral histories. I still have a few more to go, but there are 39 women on this collection.
Yes.
And I'm with them for 2 hours at a time, just talking about their histories. And we were invited to the White House. I had an opportunity to present the collection at the Library of Congress in April, and 26 people in that collection showed up in DC. They flew from all over the country. I still haven't got chills. They flew from
I'm chilling up right now. My hair's just going all over the place.
They flew from all over the country. And can I tell you, they did not know me from a bag of potato chips.
Yeah. But you know what, Felesha, you can't, because it's history that's slowly being erased. And I like the fact that you're capturing it while the ladies are still alive and the verbal, what they had to go, because women still have a fight. I mean, just hearing the stories of our friend AJ Parker talking about how she had to fight for radio just to get recognized. And you pointed that out. Here you are, a co-host, and they'll even recognize it. Invisible women in radio. And you know what? Just to hear what they do to you, they throw you in the late nights because a woman has a nice voice and stuff like that, because they don't think women can carry by themselves and stuff. And hopefully that stigma changes over time, and women get more opportunities and stuff. But you're doing such a wonderful job with that. And I know we've gone like way over here at this point in time. I do apologize folk, but this is, Felicia, I'm going to have to bring you back because we got more to talk about.
Okay.
Because there's more to the story than that, because you're also a speaker too. So folks, she does well speaking. She's done speaking. She has a book out.
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about that book before I bring mom and dad for the closing questions?
It's Brave Leap to Freedom. That's the name of the book. My mom actually painted the cover. She passed in June from pancreatic cancer, 1 month to the day that I presented at the Library of Congress. But she did say that she was proud of me. So, that was a blessing. But the book is about identifying toxic relationships and how to regain your power. Another little known fact about me is that I'm a mind, body, spirit educator. Mm-hmm. I teach meditation and yoga, and I've done a lot of spiritual studies, not religious, spiritual. Mm-hmm. And some of the tools that I learned really saved me from demise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you've gone through.
The book talks about it.
And the stuff you've gone through, because, how do I say, genderism is real.
Oh, absolutely. Ageism is too, by the way.
So women get the whammies.
We get the double whammy.
Yeah, you get the triple whammy because you're a sister on top of that, right?
Yes.
And so, with a lot of that going on there, just seeing you always thrive and having your book and encouraging Black women and mentoring Black women. So that's another thing too. So we're gonna bring you back on the show again, Felesha, because like I said, you got more to the meets the eye, because we're gonna talk more about your program, how it helps women, how they can help, how you can get into the industry, because I know they got more questions. But since we're up to the minute, running out of time, Mom and Dad, you have any questions for Felesha before we unfortunately have to close the show?
Where did your mother live before when she passed?
She was in Atlanta with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you have how many children?
I have 2 beautiful girls.
Oh.
Yeah, 20. I waited late to have them.
That's all right.
In my 30s, but yeah.
They live in Atlanta also?
They are, yeah. My oldest will be 30 years old in July.
Oh.
Yeah. Yay. You add those 2 threes.
There you go. So, before we go here, like I said, we'll put up here Black Women in Radio. How do they get in contact with you, Felesha?
Oh, yes, they can reach out to me at blackwomeninradio@gmail.com or log on to the website www.blackwomeninradio.com.
Oh, Dad, you have anything before we close?
I am so proud that somebody is representing our Black women as truly being women that are dignified and not a clown, not a joke, not mean-spirited, just a sweet, lovely woman. And we need to recognize our women as being something to be proud of.
Thank you so much.
One thing, I don't know if you can say this or not, but one thing I always say is Black does not crack.
It does not. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. You have some young dudes hitting on you there here. Oh, you're like, oh no, you're just a baby. No, you're not. We're the same age.
Yeah.
Probably get a lot of that too.
Yeah.
You and Felesha are the same age, right?
I don't think so, Mom. She gave you a little tip here.
I gave, yeah.
She gave you a little tip. We're close.
Yeah, well, you're not too far away from.
No, we're not too far away. That is right.
Well, you've got a baby face too, so I don't know how old you are.
Oh, I'm 53.
No, you're not.
No, I'm
53 yet.
I'm 52. I'll be 53 coming up next year, Mom. Thank you. It's gonna be coming here. Hey, 5 more months, it's gonna change. I just learned to embrace age.
You know what? You may as well, because it just keeps coming.
Yeah, it keeps coming. It's not going around. So I just like, hey, you know what? It's gonna show up every year. Yeah. So with that in mind,
laughing.
Yeah, keep laughing. With that in mind, I don't know what happened to Hanty. She got on, but folks, she is here, folks. So if you're worried about Hanty, she is here. She is safe. She is talking to her son right now. But till next time, folks, I just want you to remember this. First of all, persevere, right? Go for your goals and never quit. What I like about what Felicia did, she kept on reinventing herself.
Mhm.
And she never stopped. And you know what? Having new experiences is not a bad thing, folks. That's the one thing I learned from this.
Right.
You just tried new experience. You were, very smart. And folks, that's what life is all about. Having good new experience, some good, some bad. But if you never have it at all, you never live life. So next time we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.